All right, so I think we're recording. I think we're live into the group. Oh, I can't minimize. I'm recording. That's a new thing. All right, interesting. So let me just go into the group, make sure that I can hear myself, that the audio is working, and I see myself. All right, interesting. All right, good. So we're live in the group. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Creative Crypto Show. Happy Tuesday. We're going to kick things off. I'm on my laptop today, and it's throwing up some different screens that I'm normally used to. So you guys can hear me okay, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, good. So we're going to talk some crypto today as normal. If I can get my screen up here. We're going to talk about a few different things. There's lots of stuff actually going on. This could easily be a 3 or 4 hour call, but I just don't have that time. So we're going to keep it at 20 minutes like normal, 20-ish minutes. But there's a lot going on, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of potentially worrisome stuff for some people. So I'm just going to talk about what's actually going on in the market. We'll do a little bit of technical analysis and show why technical analysis shows that it might, right now, might actually be the perfect time to be buying altcoins, not Bitcoin, but altcoins. So if you're investing in crypto, because right now what's happening is a lot of money is going out of the market, and that still may continue for the next couple of days, but Bitcoin dominance is rising. And so that makes that when that happens, the altcoins go through the floor. I literally have in my portfolio, I've got this little app that I use. It's called the Delta app. And in this app, it sends me notifications when the coins that I hold hit certain points, either being all-time highs, all-time lows, or any amount that I preset and say, hey, send me an alert. Most crypto tracker portfolio things will do that. But this one I've just been seeing for the last couple of days, so many of the altcoins that I currently hold are hitting all-time lows. So now is a really, really good time to be stocking up on altcoins if you are looking from the perspective of technical analysis. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about some important arrests that are being made in the world right now and how it's going to affect crypto. The Department of Justice is now involved in the cryptos. So that's a criminal organization. It's not a securities. Like, we have a security and regulation organization that's dedicated to the cryptos, but now all of a sudden Department of Justice is involved. That's a different story. It's a completely different game. So we're going to talk about what that actually means, why they're involved, and kind of where we're at along the process of this big transfer and clean out and removal of old system and bad players in that old system. We're going to talk about what that all means for it. We're also going to talk about registering EOS tokens. So any of you that own some EOS tokens, we're going to talk about registering them. This is very, very important. If you hold EOS tokens and you don't take the steps that I talk about here in a few minutes to get your tokens registered in the next 48 hours by June 1st, then you'll lose them. You'll lose every one of them. And I know some people that have tens of thousands of dollars invested in EOS, and only 30% right now have actually all token holders have registered their tokens. So we're going to talk more about that, why the percentage is so low, and what to do if you do decide that you want to hold on to your tokens. Me personally, I'll tell you what I did with mine. Yeah, we want to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the Poloniex exchange. They've come out and introduced some new rules that personally I would recommend getting out, not trading on the Poloniex exchange. It's one of the largest exchanges in the world, but they've changed their rules. It drastically affects what we do. So we'll talk about that. And we're going to give away some more free Litecoin at the end of this call. So that's what's on the agenda. If you're watching this in the Facebook group as a live stream, then hit the like button, leave us a comment, type live. If you're here live, if you're watching this on the replay, type replay. But just let us know that you're getting value. And the next thing that we're going to do, let's see. And sorry, I got somebody trying to come in the door over here. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you'd like to actually join us in the group, in the Facebook group, where you can hop onto one of these calls or just check out some of the other stuff that we post in the group in between these calls, then you can definitely do that. Just click the link in the YouTube description. Also, if you're here on YouTube watching, let me know by subscribing. Just subscribe, hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Let's give me some more subscribers over there on the Creative Crypto channel. So that's what's on the agenda today. There's a lot. We're going to get into it. Before we do, let's talk good news. Who's got some good news they would like to share? Something that's going well in your life right now. Jessica, Danny, what do you guys got?
Hey, I got really great weather for now.
Nice.
We had pretty scorchy weather, and I'm actually really happy. My mom's up, got her own food, so it's a good day to be alive here.
Cool. Very cool. Jessica, how about you?
That's awesome. I'm excited because tomorrow is moving day for me. And so this week I'm going to be neighbors with my brother and sister-in-law and my 3 nieces.
That's cool. Very cool. My good news is we have been up for the last, 3 hours. We've been out in the backyard filling up water balloons. We've got these 2 massive coolers full. Well, not full yet. We've got a lot more to do. But we have 6 tubes with 80 water balloons in each of them. And so we're going to have a massive water balloon war in the next few hours later this afternoon. So that's my good news. I'm definitely excited about that. My 4-year-old daughter is tremendously excited about that. So that's my good news. So let me go ahead and share. If you're watching this on in the group, go ahead and drop us some good news as well in the comments. Let us know what's going on in your world. I'm going to share my screen, and we will get into it. Actually, that's not working. Why is that not working? Let's try it again. Share screen. There we go. All right. You guys can see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. So let's just see what's going on here in the crypto market. I'm actually going to have to modify this a little bit because that's not working. Usually I have 2 computers running. So I'm trying to get the things where I can put the notes in on one and see the screen on the other. Okay, I think that will work. So share screen. Boom, boom. All right. You guys can see coin market cap, right?
Yes, that's what I see.
Okay, good, perfect. So let's see what's going on in the world of crypto. The total market cap right now is 322 billion. That is down since last time we did the call. It was 334. It's just continuously gone down for the last few days in total market cap. What you'll see is 24-hour volume, 18.1. That's not too much lower than what we normally expect and see. Total number of cryptocurrencies, 1,634. So we've added about 11 since last Friday or Thursday. Bitcoin dominance is continuing to rise, 39.3%. Up from 38.5%. So when the market cap goes down and the Bitcoin dominance goes up, that makes it a really good deal and time to buy altcoins. And so that is kind of where we're at right now with the market and Bitcoin dominance. We look at the 24-hour change here, and we just scroll down. We do see a lot of green at the moment. If we go to, let's sort them. Biggest gainers is MyBit token, which is cool to see. I actually own some MyBit. I haven't looked at it or done a lot with it. It's just been kind of setting over quietly in the background for a while. So it's nice to see 27% increase there. So that's the biggest winners. Congrats to any of those that are holding MyBit. The biggest losers for today, and there's not many, there's only about a dozen. So right now this is what we consider a green day. The biggest drop off is 15.5% with crypto next. Vertasium is going through a little bit of a dip as well. Great time to buy Vertasium. That's one that I've been buying that for the last few weeks now. Every chance that I get, every new little, all-time low alert, anything over under $500 per coin for Vertasium is a great deal. Right now it's $79. It was in the 60s earlier this morning for a couple of hours. So I am stocking up on Vertasium simply because Vertasium is the coin that will help during the transition from the old system to the new system. Because when the banks collapse, if they, depending on the time frame and kind of how the dominoes fall, we could literally see a time when crypto exchanges, like you can't buy it on the exchanges. Because they all run from the old system. They're all based on the old system and need banks in order to operate. Vertasium is changing all that. Vertasium is a coin that will help with that transition. The guy that owns it is working directly. It's peer-to-peer, so you don't have to buy from the exchange. And so that's it's an interesting, they're properly positioned. There's just a lot of good stuff. The more I continue to read and research Vertasium and listen to interviews with Reggie, who's he's the guy behind Vertasium, the more I look into it, the more bullish I get on it, the more I see it playing a large role in the future. And so, like I said, anything under $100 is amazing. If $500 is really good, because it's been almost $500 in the past. And this is a coin that could easily go to, a few $1,000s. It could be, if big money and governments and banks are wanting to get into this as a temporary transition or whatever. Here's the thing, like you can't get into it on the exchanges. It's very hard to buy large amounts of this stuff. And so the price is going to go crazy when even just one big money player wants to get involved. And so they're working with some foreign exchanges right now to perfect the system, and so they're just sitting there ready for the collapse. And when these banks start to wobble and fall, Vertasium is going to be there. So this is good to see this at being such a low, because something I mentioned a couple weeks ago on a call. If you knew, so look at this for Bitcoin, for example, if you knew the Bitcoin was going to be $100,000 per Bitcoin 3 years from today, would you want the price of Bitcoin today and for the next week and for the next month to stay low so you could buy as much as you could? Or would you want it to just start skyrocketing right now on the way to 300,000 or on the way to 100,000? The answer is you want to keep it low for as long as possible so you can acquire and accumulate as much as possible if you know that that's where it's going. And so it's kind of this a similar thing. I'm loading up on Vertasium right now. So that is that. Let's see what else is going. So that's pretty much what's going on in the market. Where are we at? Bitcoin is sitting at 7,400, Ethereum 556, EOS 1188, Litecoin's at 119. Litecoin was at a low a little bit earlier this morning as well. And so I'm also, it's another coin that I'm buying a lot of right now is Litecoin. So one kind of thing to consider with technical analysis I've been reading, there's technical analysis and then there's fundamental analysis. So you'll hear it referred to as TA and FA. Most of the time, and I've talked about this before, the technical analysis most of the time is complete bullshit. A lot of the times the people that are drawing the lines on the charts and all of the grids, like there's value there. There's definitely certain times when if you're just paying attention, it's so obvious that okay, this is what's about to happen because you're looking at the trends. However, most technical analysis type traders take that to ridiculous extremes, and quite honestly, it's just a bunch of guesswork that's a lot of other BS mixed in with it. And so I'm not discounting technical analysis for certain things, because there's parts of technical analysis it's absolutely valuable. So I've been looking a little bit at that just to kind of get another perspective, and I pay attention to what the TA analysts are saying, because the way that I like to do things is get everybody's picture. I read my own, I read the news and the updates and what's going on. And I do the research on the projects. I do that on my own, but then I also listen to other people. I listen to see what other people are saying about the stuff. And then I even go outside of my realm a little bit and listen to the technical analysis people, because I want to get a good full picture of what's going on in the market. And that's how I make my decisions. And that's the source of the information that I bring back and relay to you guys as well. So this is, I'm gathering my information from different sources, and technical analysis happens to be one of them. And so they said some stuff that was pretty insightful for me that really sums up what's going on in the market right now. And so I'll just read to you kind of what I wrote up on that. So as expected right now, what's happening is Bitcoin is losing USD value. So the USD price is going down while the dominance is going up. And so altcoins, like I mentioned, they're taking a beating because investors are selling their positions into Bitcoin, and then they're converting it into fiat and taking the profits. And so what's happening is you got the price of Bitcoins going up compared to the altcoins. And so the altcoins that they got profit on, they're selling those off, converting them into Bitcoin, because there's more bang for the buck in Bitcoin when the dominance is up. And then they're cashing those profits out. And so what that results in is Bitcoin dominance going up, altcoin dominance going down, a lot of money going out of altcoins, which lowers their price. And so it's kind of the perfect storm to be buying right now, because the Bitcoin, even though the price is going down, your buying power is still staying and even increasing in some cases. And so we've experienced a few different waves. We're going into what will likely be one of the last waves in this big correction before the larger type of bull run that's anticipated. And so if you look at the buy orders on the exchanges, they're being placed. People are saying, look, I'll buy a lot of Bitcoin for, if the price gets to 6,950, or, it ranges from 6,950 all the way to 6,700. And so we know that there's a solid floor there. And so it probably won't go much lower than that range. And there's also a possibility of it going lower, but for now, around the 6,700 price point for Bitcoin should be kind of where it holds. Right now we're at 7,400. So what I'm telling you is over the next few days, there could be a little bit more of a dip, but it's all on the forefront of what will ultimately be, going back on a bull run. As the FUDsters move out of, or run out of FUD to distribute, and they run out of, Bitcoin to sell off, and they run out of, influencers that they can convince to say bad stuff about Bitcoin, then the price is just going to go back up. And so I do believe that we're on the verge of another bull run. However, in the meantime, we could see a little bit of a dip before. So if the Bitcoin dominance exceeds 40 to 41% and the price gets below 69, that's when I would recommend buying. So if the price gets down into the 6,900, if it dips into the sixes, right now we're at 74, if it gets into the sixes, and the dominance, if you watch the Bitcoin dominance right now, it's 39.3. If that hits 40 or anything above 40 and the price is 69 or below, buy altcoins. That is the time to buy. That's like a consolidation that's happening, and right now is a good time to buy. But if that happens, then that's what I'm waiting on. I've got some more money loaded up, ready to go on exchanges, just ready to buy, and I'm just waiting on that to happen, because I can see it from the technical analysis. I can see it happening in the next few days, and so that's kind of the metrics that I'm looking at. So those of you that are interested in getting involved in some more Litecoins, now is a great time to buy. And so the market makers, what they know, so the other thing I wrote, the market makers know all of our narratives and expectations. They've recently turned that against the average Joe. The game is always the same: shake out the weak hands to accumulate cheap in preparation of a bull run. So again, with everything that's going on, it goes back to that statement. I mean, we just had a conference, a crypto conference, the last couple of weeks. Consensus, 8,000 plus people came. This was a $multi-thousand price point per ticket, and 8,000 people came, and this conference sold out in a day. That's a big deal. And if you hear the feedback from the people at the conference, you hear a lot of people saying things like, I've never been around and seen so many like suits and like big money people in one place. And that's exactly what it is. It's big money getting into the game. It's big money coming in, you know, checking things out. Like, they are heavily involved. The fact that many people showed up on that price point on that short of a time period, this market is set to explode. And again, think about this. All of these people know that Bitcoin is going to a lot higher than what it is, and so are a lot of these altcoins. And so, like, just consider that. If you knew that, if you could look into the future 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and you knew that Bitcoin is going to be worth $100,000, or, you know, these altcoins are going to be worth 100, 200, 500 times what they are now. If you knew that, would you want the price to stay down right now, or would you want it to run up? And you'd want it to stay down. And so that's what we're seeing from the big money. They're doing everything they can to continue suppressing this price, but we're getting to the point, as I've just kind of walked through, it's a great time to buy. And so, as a matter of fact, this is one of the best times that I've seen to buy since I've been playing this game of crypto. Just with the circumstances where they're at, all of the numbers where they're at, the market cap, the Bitcoin dominance, it's just a really great time to buy. So that is that. The bond market, gold market, silver market, not a lot of change there. We have some just ridiculous in the bond market. If you look at it, and I'm not going to pull it up because it's hilarious. But we've seen the sell-offs for the last year. That thing is just selling off. And then you have these fake pumps of like hundreds of millions of dollars or even billions of dollars going into bond markets. So they're completely fabricated. Somebody's clicking a button and saying, let's pour in, you know, $500 million into the bond market of this electronically push button stuff, and jack the price up to keep things calm, to keep people from freaking out. Because if the bond market if it goes down every single day and never goes back up, that's cause for worry or concern. And so they are injecting these little artificial price pumps from the bond market. So if you're paying attention to the bond market, which you should be doing, that's a good representation of the US dollar. If you're paying attention to that, then you'll probably notice that there are just some ridiculous in like green pumps of the bond market, and nobody's buying it. Now, who think about this? Who is going to put money into the bond market right now when you know what's going on, when you see what's going on? Like, it's just not, that much money is not going. Countries are selling it. They don't want it anymore. It's just not feasible what's actually going on. And some people are still asleep to the idea, and they have no idea. And it's just funny. So, my stance on the dollar dying, and silver and gold being a good replacement, as well as crypto, has not changed. I just made a post the other day. I'm still buying gold and I'm still buying silver, more so silver than gold. I think everybody should own at least 1 ounce of gold. I do think gold will go on a run and will be involved in the future, just not super long term, for the reason that I think there's a lot more gold in abundance in the world than we realize that we're being told. I think there's literally millions or even billions of additional ounces of gold that's out there and available that's not included in the circulation or the circulating supply. And so it's just not included in the price. Plus you got the electronic market suppressing gold, just like they've been doing for years. And so I do think gold will be a profitable investment. I just don't see it being the long term. I think silver it has more potential than gold, because I don't think there's billions of ounces of additional silver that nobody knows about. I do think that with gold, and the price of these things are determined by supply and demand. Now, if the rigging has to stop first before either one of those things go up, and we're on the brink of that happening. Well, I don't want to say on the brink, because it's been happening for years. It could continue for a while, but we're getting close. The right dominoes are falling, and if we get to a state of world peace, then that's one of the dominoes along the way. And so, or if this Deutsche Bank gets downgraded, which is something to watch out for in the next day or two. I'm surprised that we haven't heard anything yet about that, but I'm still standing on that as well. Watch for some news for Deutsche Bank, because if Deutsche Bank gets downgraded, that's a bad day. It'll take probably a month or two before the ramifications of that downgrade start showing up. But that's the beginning of it. If they get downgraded, they can't reverse that. And then not all, but a lot of the derivative contracts that they have in place right now, they're going to go sideways, and they're not going to be able to sustain a downgrade. And so watch for that. If that were to happen, then it's very possible that silver could get cut loose early, because Deutsche Bank is also one of the biggest derivative players in silver manipulation and silver holders as well. So if that bank's collapses, then the rigging could potentially stop it. Now, they're not the only banks that are rigging silver prices, but that could be one of the big dominoes for sure. So just pay attention to kind of what's going on with that. The recommendation is continue to buy gold, continue to buy silver, continue to buy cryptos. That's where all my money's going. I'm taking it out of anything that's connected to the old money system, stock market, bonds, life insurance policies that are connected to the stock markets, and mutual funds and things like that. I'm moving the large majority of that stuff out of those type of investments, and putting them into things that I can physically hold, like cryptos, gold, silver, those type of things. So that's what I'm doing. What I'm providing here is not advice in any form whatsoever, simply just sharing with you what I'm doing, and what's going on. So take that as you want to take it. World news, we've got a couple of things going on. Deutsche Bank, again, can continue to watch them, watch for the downgrade. I feel it's coming. I don't see how it couldn't happen, because they're in a worse position now than they were a month ago when S&P came out and said, you're on credit watch. Like at the end of May, you're probably going to get downgraded. That was a month ago when they came out and said that. And so the situation has not improved. It's gotten drastically worse, in fact. And so I don't see it not happening. And there's potential for a bailout as well. We've talked about, there is potential of partial bailout, but they're just dragging it on if that does happen. I don't think a bailout will happen, because we're literally talking hundreds of trillions of dollars that would require to bail out this bank that's too big to fail. And so we'll just see. We'll see what plays out. Nonetheless, I'm getting out of the old system into the new. So that's what's going on in the world in regards to Deutsche Bank. Some other world news that is related is arrests that are happening right now. Harvey Weinstein was recently invested, and he's one of the guys that was involved in the Hollywood pedophile ring, which Brock Pierce also happens to be one of the kingpins in that ring, from way back, and as of recently also, there's been talk of that even recently. And so they're looking into Harvey Weinstein's dealings with a guy named Jeffrey Epstein. The whole, he's got an island that all of these high, status individuals fly on his private jet out to his island. They call it Pedophile Island. I mean, there's essentially sex slaves there that are there for that purpose, and it's just disgusting what's happening. There's some big status people that have connections to that island. Clintons are one of them. Weinstein is one. Brock Pierce is one. Brock Pierce is the guy that basically he owns a lot of EOS. He's one of the guys that's behind the company EOS. He's not the only guy, and there's been a little bit of cover up in terms of them retracting statements that they've made as far as him being an advisor to Block One. Block One is the company that owns EOS. Block One is owned by Brock Pierce, meaning when EOS did the initial token sale and all of the money, all of the Ethereum came in and was collected, it got paid to Block One. If you wanted to buy EOS, you paid during the ICO, then you like that Ethereum went to Block One. Well, Block One is pretty much owned by Brock Pierce. And so if you're like, that's kind of, and I've talked about this before on a show. If Weinstein's investigation brings anything into light with Brock Pierce, and Brock ends up going down for his dealings with Weinstein or Pedophile Island, Jeffrey Epstein, or any of that stuff, then because he's heavily involved in all of it. And it's all well documented. You can look into, I mean, it doesn't take but just a few minutes of research. You can find all of this stuff out. And so the question you got to ask is, this is one of the guys that's behind this particular crypto project. Now, EOS is literally has the potential to be one of the biggest and most valuable cryptos out there. It could be bigger than Ethereum, could be bigger than Bitcoin, could be bigger than all of them. But it's a criminal organization in terms of the people that are behind it or involved with it. Does it mean it's not going to go up and the price is going to go? No, it doesn't mean that at all. So what I'm doing right now, because here's my take on it. The Department of Justice is now involved as of a couple of weeks. So I think I posted an article in the Creative Crypto group, but the Department of Justice is now involved. They are a criminal organization. They don't get involved unless they're going after criminal behavior, criminal activities. They don't go after people trading securities. There's a division. There's a group of people that are already set up for that in the cryptos to fight the bad guys in the cryptos. And now all of a sudden, Department of Justice is getting involved, saying, "Hey, we're going to look into these particular companies." Ethereum being one of them. Well, guess what? What was Ethereum? Or Ethereum is the coin of choice that was used to pay for EOS. That's the only way you could acquire it for a long time. And so there's some direct connections in there. And I'm not saying that they're investigating EOS or that Brock's going to get arrested or anything like that, but they're connected. They're too close for me, to be wanting to be involved. And so if it does, like, what if it did unravel? That could be a drastic blow to EOS as a project. Now, I'm personally making EOS one of my Zen moves, and I've owned EOS. I've owned quite a lot of it actually for a while. But the more that I have started reading about who's involved and what it is, I'm just getting a not so good feeling about it. So I decided to sell all of my EOS. I've sold it, traded it for other coins that I like and that I've researched and that I don't have uneasy feelings about. This is just a personal decision. I'm not saying that's what you should do or anything like that. I'm just telling you what I'm doing and what I've done. And so the reason is, again, because of the criminal stuff that I've found, and as well as just it's interesting because in 2 days, literally in 2 days, let's just look up EOS coin. Let's go to their website, and in 2 days from now, here we go, EOS.io. In 2 days, all of your coins get, like, if you have them on an exchange, right now you have an EOS token, an ERC20 token, all right, that's built on the Ethereum network. Well, in 2 days, the main net is going live. The main project's going live for EOS, and you're gonna need, there's a transfer process, all right? You got to transfer them, exchange them from the existing version of the token that you have to the new version. Well, in every other company that this has happened, every other project this happened, like a month before the transfer date, you go to their website and there's all kinds of notices and warnings and saying, hey, if you don't, like, click here to register and follow the steps to register your tokens before this date, because they're expiring on this date. You'll lose them on this date if you haven't followed these 3 steps or whatever. And it's usually a very easy process, like a couple of steps to take. And it's plastered all over everything that they do. They announce it on Twitter. They put it on the front page of their website. It's everywhere. Because why wouldn't you want that? You go to the EOS website, there's not one single mention of, hey, your coins are going to literally disappear in 2 days. There's no mention of how to do anything, how to register them, how to do anything. If we go to the announcements, there may be something here. I don't know. I haven't checked this. We got a hackathon. We got block 1 statement. We got winning a trip to Hong Kong. Nothing about transferring your coins. All right. Now, to me, that's a problem. That's an issue. Why are they not telling people? Let's just do this. How to convert EOS tokens. And you can do some researching on here. Easiest. So these are from, okay, so for April 2012, the one I looked briefly, this first one, oh yeah, for before June 2018. This is back from like in 2017 when this was posted. And look at the, let's see, register them. If you bought them on exchange, you don't need to claim them. So you go to it, you click follow these steps, follow the guide. Okay, so there's a guide to doing it. And I'm not going to look it up right here. If you own, I just sold mine, so I don't have to do this. But if you own EOS, look up how do you convert it into real tokens, and make sure you do that today or tomorrow. It's the last days. If you don't do it, you will 100% lose all of your tokens. And right now, as of just a couple of days ago, I saw somewhere that literally only 30% of people that own EOS have registered their tokens. So what does that mean? It means 70% of the money that came in for people buying EOS tokens, they're going to lose it because there's no type of announcement. There's no support on hey, you should register this. There's no grace period. Now, there may be some other stuff happen. The whole project might not even go live on June 1st, like it says. Because if you look at, if you study some of the interviews and listen to what the guys behind the developers are saying, they might not even be ready yet to go live. There's some of the main developers behind the project are saying, look, we got some delays. So I'm not saying that they'll be delayed. They might not. Regardless, register your tokens or you're going to lose them. So if you're going to stay with EOS and continue to keep that, then my suggestion is register now or you're going to lose them. So this is my warning to you. And again, like I said, I've just sold all of mine. I'm making it one of my Zen moves. A Zen move for me is when I've done the research on a company and I believe that the value of that coin is going to go up, but I choose not to invest in it. That's a Zen move. It's a little bit of a mindset shift inside my head that makes me realize it takes me out of the desperation buy mode, because so many people, whenever they're buying for the speculation, they're buying in a form of desperation. I'm going to buy this coin only because I believe it's going to go up and I want to make the money that's involved. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's your sole mindset when you're approaching this, you're going to get burned. You're going to make emotional decisions, irrational decisions, bad decisions. And so I make sure that I have what I call Zen moves. And so as I'm studying coins, and I believe that they're going to go up, because I believe that there's some really good and smart people behind EOS. The technology seems to be there. Like, it all seems very, very good. And I think that it has potential to absolutely be a high value coin for a little while. And so I could put some money into and benefit from that. But I'm just choosing not to. I know that there's other coins out there. And so that's where I'm going to focus my efforts. So that's my personal preference in what I'm doing with EOS, but I wanted to make everybody aware so you don't lose your coins if you do decide to hold on to them. The next thing in world news is what's going on with Trump and Kim Jong-un. They are essentially, I mean, there's all kinds of news headlines out there, and I maybe talk more specifically about this on another call later this week, but essentially what's going on is they've played the entire world. And we are one step closer to world peace. What's happened over the last month or so, when you see all these crazy headlines about, war and nukes and, Trump canceling, meetups because they're not actually friends, and just all kinds of stuff. Like, they're playing the world is what's happening. They are absolutely moving towards a state of peace, because Un basically just released a statement the other day saying that they're willing, essentially at the core of the statement, they're willing to essentially merge North and South Korea. World peace is coming. I'm telling you guys, and Iran is going to be next. Right now, we hear it. Korea, all the stuff that's going on, but Iran will be the next target. You're going to hear a very similar type of narrative and story that's just been playing out over the last month with who's involved now. You're going to hear that same type of thing with Iran coming, because they're the next one on the list. So that's cool to see, because it just kind of helps validate all of the suspicions and things that I've been seeing, because you never know, right? I mean, you see headlines that say literally within a minute of each other, you can see two completely conflicting headlines in the news, and you're like, you got to make up your own story, right? You got to, do the research and read and find out, okay, well, what makes the most sense? You got to create your own truth. And so it's good to see these type of things playing out, because it helps me know that, okay, I am on the right track. I'm not completely crazy. And so, that's what's going on in the world. In terms of crypto news, I've already talked most about what I wanted to say, and that is EOS, getting them registered before June 1st, or you'll lose them. The next thing that's on crypto news is the Poloniex exchange. Poloniex is one of the largest and first crypto exchanges out there. They are owned by Circle, which is backed by Goldman Sachs, which is the big bankers. And so they have now just recently changed the rules and said, essentially, you have 14 days, as of yesterday or day before, you got 14 days to give us all this new information. I'm talking everything. Date of birth, social security number, address, everything. Like, they want all of the details of you, which has not been the case in the past. And so they're going in that direction. I don't personally have anything in Poloniex. I couldn't register. They never verified my account. And so I've never once traded on Poloniex. I know a lot of people who have, though. I know a lot that watch this probably have. And so my suggestion is, if you want to be involved with the big bankers and Goldman Sachs backed exchanges, then you can stay on Poloniex and give them all of the information and let them do with it what they will, and it's fine, whatever. I wouldn't do that. I would advise getting out. Getting away from it. It's a step in the wrong direction, if you ask me. It's not moving. It's going backwards. And so I would get out if I had any money in Poloniex. I would get out. Or like I said, you can keep trading regardless of what you do. The same rule applies that I've been saying for quite some time. Don't keep your money in the exchanges because at some point you'll likely lose it. Either the exchange will get hacked or the banks will wobble and they'll shut down or whatever. You want to make sure that you hold your cryptos in your own possession, in your own private wallets with your own private keys. So that is what's going on in the world of crypto. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. I could talk for 2 more days on all this stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up just so we can give away some Litecoin. So here's the deal. If you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're watching this in the group, you'll probably need to click over and watch it on YouTube. Just search for Creative Crypto on YouTube. You can find it. There's also some YouTube links in the group. But in the YouTube description, I'm going to put a link where there's another video, and it will show you exactly how you can download a Litecoin wallet onto your phone and send that wallet ID, your receiving ID, to me via email. And if you do that and you don't own any Litecoin, I'm going to give you some free Litecoin. So this offer is it's valid for 24 hours from the time this particular video is uploaded to YouTube, and it's May 29th. And so from 24 hours from the time that it's uploaded to YouTube, you will have an opportunity to claim free Litecoin. And this is $10 of free money. It's free Litecoin. The price of Litecoin is low right now. And so I'm going to give you $10, and who knows, in a couple of weeks or a month or 2 months, it could be worth 20, 30, 40, 50, $100. Who knows? Regardless, it is free for the first 10 people who just simply ask. That's all you got to do. No hoops to jump through. All you got to do is just ask, and I will give you some free Litecoin. I have a wallet dedicated on my phone. I've put a few $100s on it, and it's just for sending it to you guys when you ask for it. And so here's how you do it. You go in the description of the YouTube video, there will be a link that walks you through the whole process. The only rule is you can't already own Litecoin. If I've already sent you some Litecoin, you already own it. You can't. I'm not going to send you any more because you're paying attention to it. However, those of you that do own it, you can just share this video, share the YouTube video. Say, hey, you want some free cryptocurrency? Go watch this video, and here's how to claim it. You'll literally get free $10 in free Litecoin. And what that does is it keeps people, if you give them $10, it's on their phone, or $5 or whatever, then what it does is it causes them to start paying attention to the price. And they will reach out to you as the price starts to go up, and they'll be buying more. And they'll be asking more, how do I buy some more? How do I get some more of this stuff? And so that gets more people. It helps with the spread of adoption. So if you own Litecoin, how do we get the price to go up? You get more people buying it. And so that's how you get more people buying it. You just give them a little bit and then let them watch it. And I promise you, as the price goes up, they'll come back around. They'll want to buy more. Because it'll be the easiest money that they've ever made. And even if it's only a few dollars, they'll see it and realize, wow, okay, this is something that's good. I want some more. I want some more Litecoin. They'll be buying. Thus, the price will go up and your investment will go up. So again, the offer expires in 24 hours from the time it's uploaded to YouTube. All you got to do is download the wallet, the Loaf wallet, or any Litecoin wallet. Send me your ID via email. All of the details and instructions are in the link in the description of this YouTube video. And yeah, that's it. That is it for today. We'll go ahead and call it good on today's show. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to get ready to go have a water balloon war. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.